The Kisaragi Station story is a Japanese urban legend about a mythical train station that exists in a parallel realm. This station came into news in the year 2004 when this story took place in real time on the internet forum of 2chan. It is a popular Japanese website where people can post images and talk about it live. These posts range from pictures and videos to news and discussion on various topics. The first mention of Kisaragi Station was late at night on 8th January 2004 on this internet forum. A girl calling herself Hasumi posted a response about a bizarre experience she was having at that moment. The story became an urban legend and inspired huge debate online about the location of Kisaragi Station and the fate of Hasumi, who went missing after her last post. The following is what happened. The story begins with Hasumi's very first post. It might just be my imagination, but I want to share it anyway. Within a minute, she started getting replies from the 2chan users who were online that night. They all asked what had happened, to which she replied that she was on a train she took every day to work, but something felt very wrong this time. The train hadn't stopped at any stations for over 20 minutes, even though it usually took only about 5 to 8 minutes to reach her stop. She further told that the passengers in the train were all asleep. Their faces were pale and still, as if they were in a deep dream. "Did you take the train by mistake?" one user asked. Another suggested that she should check on the driver. Feeling uneasy, Hasumi decided to look for the driver. She walked to the end of the train, but the windows were covered, and she couldn't see anything. And when she knocked on the windows, no one answered. All of a sudden, all the lights on the train started flickering. She felt a chill down her spine as the train went into the tunnel. The interior of the train suddenly went darker than before, and soon as the train came out of the dark tunnel, Hasumi felt a little hope. "Looks like we are finally stopping at a train station," she posted. The train was slowing down, and in a split second, she found herself at the train station. She could hear the sound of the train engine slowing down. She walked to the train door and looked around for the first time. It was dark and completely empty. There was a sign that read Kisaragi Station. She felt confused because the passengers on the train were still asleep, as if no one noticed that the train had stopped. Feeling scared in this strange situation, she decided to step off the train and look for someone at the station who could help her find her way back home. "I wonder if I should get off. I've never heard of this place before," she posted online. The users of 2chan who were with her throughout this whole time started getting worried for her. "You aren't going to get off there, are you?" one user asked. But it was too late. Hasumi had already stepped off the train onto that empty platform. As she stepped out of the train, the station looked even spookier. It was dark and quiet with no signs of life. The air was thick with fog, and it was quite chilly there. Hasumi pulled her coat tighter towards her as she glanced around. She looked at her watch. It was past midnight. The Kisaragi station looked old and deserted. Its paint was peeling off, showing the worn wood underneath. The windows were dirty, making it hard to see inside. A flickering lantern hung by the entrance, casting a weak light that barely pushed back the darkness. The wind whistled through the cracks in the walls, creating an eerie sound. It was the only sound besides the soft echo of her footsteps as she roamed around the platform. She reached towards the station's building and felt a sudden gust of wind that blew through the station, causing the lights to flicker even more violently. And to her surprise, the train's engine suddenly started, and the train began to move. Hasumi was still a good distance away, but in hope to catch the train, she ran towards it. However, before she could reach it, the train quickly disappeared into the dense fog. The mysterious fog wrapped around her like a shroud, as an inexplicable sense of dread washed over her. Hasumi stood there in silence, not knowing what to do next. All of a sudden, she felt her mobile's screen go lit, and she realized she can still convey this scenario to the 2chan users. She pulled out her phone to check the messages. There were plenty. With her racing heart, she typed, "I am looking for a schedule so I can get back, but I can't find anyone here, and the train also went away. I'm really scared and I don't know what to do." The 2chan users tried to find information about the Kisaragi station, but nothing came up. "I can't find any information online about this Kisaragi station," one user replied. Their concern for Hasumi kept growing. Poor Hasumi felt more scared when she called home but couldn't reach her parents because the voicemail kept saying that the number didn't exist. Now the users started searching Kisaragi station on the maps, but to their disappointment, they couldn't find anything regarding this station. Hasumi turned back to the station, walking alone in the dark, contemplating whether to wait for the next train or trying to find her way on foot. But Hasumi felt a strange urge to keep moving, to escape the silence of this station. "Honestly, I have no idea what to do at this point," she typed as she was getting away from the station. Just then, she heard a faint sound, a soft, melodic drumming sound coming from the station. It was haunting. Hasumi turned back to look, and she noticed a figure standing at the far end of the platform. It was a man's silhouette. It was barely noticeable in the fog. Hasumi squinted, trying to make out his features, but fog seemed to thicken, wrapping around him like a veil. "Excuse me?" Hasumi called out nervously. Her voice echoed in the stillness, and she felt that shadow moved. And instinctively, Hasumi felt an overwhelming urge to not approach that man. With trembling fingers, Hasumi typed, "I do not want to go back to that station. I don't dare turn around," she admitted, her fear growing stronger. "Run and don't look back," came the urgent reply. But it was too late. A voice called out from behind her, warning her, "Don't walk on the track. It's dangerous." She turned around expecting to see someone who could help her, but instead she saw a one-legged old man who was approaching her. The man seemed old. Hasumi was scared but somehow managed to gather the courage to approach the old man, knowing he might be her only chance to escape. Nervously, she walked up to him and explained everything that had happened. She asked for his help and if he could arrange a taxi for her. To her surprise, he nodded and said, "Wait here. I'll bring a taxi for you. I'm a taxi driver." Hasumi at this point was confused. Hasumi felt like going with her instinct, as there was nothing much she could do. As he left, Hasumi quickly updated the users about her situation. They warned her not to go with the taxi driver, saying he could be dangerous. Hasumi heard that mysterious drumming sound getting closer again. At this point, she was extremely scared. "I can't walk or run any further," she typed. The users advised her to stay at the station until dawn, as it would be safer to search for help in the daylight. But while she was talking to the 2chan users, the old man returned in a worn-out taxi and honked the horn to signal Hasumi. Once again, Hasumi looked at her mobile screen. 2chan users were suspicious of that man. One user posted, "Someone there? This late at night? That's suspicious." Another typed, "Please Hasumi ask that man what this place is." Another user typed, "That guy is no good. Why is he by the track at this hour? He must have been a corpse or something. Hasumi, don't go with him." The users kept warning Hasumi. Hasumi replied, "He seemed gentle and was worried for me. He even bought a taxi and is waiting for me." After her reply, there was a panic between the 2chan users. They were all extremely worried for Hasumi. They did not want her to go with that old man. After a while, Hasumi updated the 2chan users about her situation, saying, "I'm with him in the taxi. I asked him where I was. He just said one word, Hina, and I don't know what it means." Finally, Hasumi typed her last message. "My battery's almost run out. Things are getting strange. He has been talking to himself about bizarre things for a while now. I'm going to make this my last post for now. After this, days turns into weeks, and Hasumi was never heard from again." The next day, 2chan users searched Hasumi tirelessly, but she had vanished without a trace. Soon after this incident, rumors of the Kisaragi train station began to spread, and this story became an urban legend. The story's popularity has led to numerous retellings and variations, with many people contributing their interpretations and expanding on the mythos of Kisaragi Station. It serves as a modern-day ghost story that resonates with the fears of the contemporary society, particularly the anxiety of losing one's way in an increasingly complex world. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the chilling tale of Hasumi and her haunting experience at the Kisaragi station. It reminds us of the thin line between reality and the supernatural. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. And here's a quick question for you. What would you do if you would find yourself at the Kisaragi station someday? Would you try to find your way out? Or would you be drawn to the mysteries that lie within? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment box below. Take care and be safe. Until then.